It's Tuesday, and you know what that means.
Ready or not?
Football edition is here. I'm Chris Stacks.
I'm Nate the Great.
So we're going to start off today with the game recap from week 2.
Yep.
What a week it was.
Oh yeah, definitely. A lot of good games this weekend.
Now, do we start with the hell of a game or the what the hell game?
You know what? What the hell? Let's go with the what the hell game.
What the hell? So let me ask you, if there's a quarterback in the NFL and they've thrown 102 times combined in the first 2 games, you think you want him on your team?
102 times combined? Yeah.
You know who that is?
Who's that?
Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco. So Justin Fields, quarterback for the Bears, has thrown, I believe it's 22 times in the first 2 weeks combined.
22 times. Oh damn. All right.
Joe Flacco, old man Joe, has thrown 102 times.
102.
I don't think anybody would have expected that, as he wasn't even the starting quarterback to start the season.
That's true.
But with the what the hell game, what the hell happened with 1:50 left in that game?
You tell me, man. I was watching it. I was expecting the Browns to win, and then out of nowhere, I saw the end score, Jets. So I had to look at the highlights because that was insane. 1.5 minutes left, down 2 touchdowns, get a touchdown, long pass for that one.
Yeah, Corey Davis.
Onside kick, recover, touchdown again. Insane.
And I know Christina, as a massive Jets fan, she's probably the second biggest Jets fan to Gary V. But damn, I don't even know how you like.
And side note, as a Dolphins fan, I don't like to talk Jets, but they had help.
Joe Flacco in the last 2 minutes there came to play.
Yep.
That was impressive. I definitely was expecting, honestly, a trouncing by the Browns. Just with
True.
Nick Chubb on his own, maybe a Kareem Hunt.
Oh, Chubb was killing it that game.
But great job to the Jets. Now, the hell of a game for the week. And it's really 2.
Whoa, we have 2.
It's really 2. I'll let you talk about the first one.
Dolphins-Ravens. Hell of a game. Started off with
Kind of a trouncing.
a little bit of a trouncing. Down 3 touchdowns at halftime. No one expected us to come back in the second half. Score 3 touchdowns, tie the game. 4th one to take the game.
And if you look at that game, you look at the players, Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill just matched.
They're fast.
Yeah. Speed's unmatched.
And I don't think that the defenses are realizing yet how fast the 2 of them combined are.
Mm-hmm.
Because, everybody said, you can't single cover Tyreek Hill when he was back on the Chiefs.
Right.
Now you've got him with Waddle. And people were realizing last year you can't single cover Waddle because he's fast as hell too.
Imagine if we get a 3rd fast receiver in there.
I mean, that could be very interesting too. I think OBJ did visit the Dolphins.
I heard he did a little tour.
He's on his college tour to figure out who he wants to play with this year. Now the other game, the other side, and when you're talking about Arizona this week, you got to talk about Kyler Murray, not Murray, because that guy.
Yeah.
He said, all right, guys, if nobody's going to show up, if we're going to suck, I'm just going to take the whole game on my back.
Which I had Kyler for one of my leagues, and I was like, oh man, this is going terribly. And then, you tell me what happened.
And well, in the middle of the game, Nate texts me, or actually, I think I texted you. I said, did you see that? And he texted me back with the stats.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, all right. So if you guys didn't see that game, the Cardinals were down 20-0. And then they scored, and then again, unfortunately, the Raiders. The Raiders kicked the field goal, so now they were up 23-7. And that was when all of a sudden it was like Kyler Murray said, guys, just get on my back.
That's going into the 4th quarter as well.
Going into the 4th
down
quarter.
16 points.
And they came back 29-23. So not only did they come back, but they actually went ahead, and it was all on Kyler. What was Kyler's stat line that you sent me from one play?
Oh yeah, that first 2-point conversion, he scrambled for 21 seconds, and the stats was that he ran 81 yards during that scramble to get that 2-point conversion.
And, everybody on here has met me in person except for, I think, Will. I'm not the tallest guy. Kyler and I are the same height.
Yeah.
And the guy from the Raiders had him wrapped up, falling to the ground, and somehow Kyler popped out of it.
Yep.
And kept running.
just like Forrest.
It was ridiculous. But guys, that's your hell of a game for the weekend. And again, it was 2 because we had the Dolphins, which was a crazy comeback. The Cardinals, which was crazy.
I was not, as a Dolphins fan, I'm like, man, the Ravens are. I have Lamar Jackson, which is great, but I don't want the Dolphins to lose.
That's the worst part when you're watching. You're like, I need you to go. Oh no, wait.
But it worked out well. Dolphins won, and Lamar Jackson got me 42 points.
Exactly. Now, we got to cue the sad music, but unfortunately we don't have a sound guy yet, so we're just going to pretend we heard it. Trey Lance.
Trey Lance.
We just talked about him last week, obviously on Steiger's team.
Yep.
And then unfortunately, I don't know if you saw it. Did you see that play?
I didn't see the play, no.
Oh my goodness. Like, as somebody that's sprained his ankles severely and knowing the pain just from that, his foot was pointing the wrong direction when he hit the ground.
Oh man, no, I did
And
not
he
see
tried
that.
standing up and then fell down. And you look at his foot and like he falls and his foot just
Flops.
I was like, oh, yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
And as a running quarterback, you know, I really feel for the guy. And he's so
Oh,
young,
yeah.
so young.
I mean, hopefully that'll ease his recovery, at least him being young, but
Yeah.
it's still going to be a while.
Yeah,
What-
way
what-
worse
it's
than
season
Brady's
ending, I
age.
believe, right?
Oh, season ending.
Yeah.
Jimmy G to the rescue.
Yeah.
Jimmy Garoppolo back in the game. The guy, the guy that just a week ago I was saying might be getting traded to the Cowboys because we need a quarterback, but I can't.
Oh.
Cooper Rush, thank you, man. Good job.
Yeah.
But now obviously they're lucky that they paid him. He stepped in and did great.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Jimmy's a game manager more than anything. He's not a
Dynamic.
yeah. He's not a Ravens quarterback.
Oh, Lamar Jackson.
He's not a Lamar Jackson. He's not something like that. But he's a game manager. He can put the ball in tight spots.
Yep.
You know, he came back. It was
But
impressive.
yeah, he had some nice throws
Yeah, he
right
did.
in.
He did. The other two notables as far as what happened this week: Mike Evans to the rescue for Tom Brady, but unfortunately he's suspended now.
Which I heard Tom Brady started that fight that he got suspended for.
That's the second time. Tom has done that before when he gets really heated, when the team's not doing well, he'll get in one of the cornerbacks' face or something, and everybody comes to Tom's rescue. And I believe actually, I think it happened last year. Was last year the first year that Tom Brady was on that team, or was it 2 years
No,
ago?
it was 2 years ago.
2 years ago. I believe Mike Evans got suspended that year as well because of the fight Tom Brady started, if you look it up.
I would have to.
And then the other one that's, you know, guy should be like the superhero of the week, but Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert, yes. I also have one of my other leagues, and he was killing it. Still had a great game,
Yeah.
but cracked ribs and still stayed in. He's like, I'm not going to go down like this. Ended up losing, but...
And if you saw that, so after he got the crack ribs, he got up, he went to run for a first down and just threw the ball away. He was like, I can't run that
Yeah,
far.
which I wasn't sure what happened. I was like, what happened? And then
But
found
then
out afterwards.
then he gets up on the next play and throws a dart for, I believe it was a touchdown, and it was like a 35-yard pass. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, I can only imagine how bad that hurt. But good, that guy's strong. That
Yeah.
guy's got will. But
Mhm.
unfortunately, we'll see how long it takes for him to come back.
Oh, yeah, but I know they said it could be next week. He'll be back. Cracked ribs don't take. There's just no way of
There's no
expediting the healing. It
Yeah.
just heals on its own. It
Yeah.
is
I
what
had
it is.
cracked ribs in college, and I remember they wrapped me with a 6-inch ace bandage,
Uh-huh.
and they wrapped it so tight that I could barely breathe. But that's when it didn't hurt, was when I couldn't expand my rib cage.
Right.
That's not fun. It's
Yeah.
really not fun. Now a quick game recap of what happened this week in our league. We'll start from the bottom of the page just because I don't know why. I'm just gonna start from the bottom. So
You up top.
Champ went against Belichick himself. Justine came out on top by about just over 15 points. Champ, rough loss, but Belichick, way to come back, bro. Second game was Nate the Great over here, NTG, with 189.5 to unfortunately Steiger's 118.9. Steiger, you still got a stacked team. Just nobody wants to show up for you, my man. I'm sorry. I don't even know
I
what
hate to say it, 'cause, I look at your team. I'm like, why are they playing like this?
Yeah,
Like they shouldn't.
It's wild. I'll give you the next one.
Oh, the next one is Team 3 tight ends.
Love the team name, by the way. Great job. I don't know how you came up with that, but great job.
Against Najee's in Paris. And Team 3 tight ends took the lead, 156 to 106, 50-point
50
game.
defeat.
Yeah.
And then the number one, or the top play on the week
the
was
top team was Mr. Stacks, Diggs in the CD with 191 against Team Tebow, 151. So a 40-point game right there.
quite the switch from week one.
Oh, yeah.
When you look at the reports for the week, I went in that order, guys, because I wanted him to say who the best team of the week was, according to
Barely.
Sleeper.
I'm still upset
According
that
to
Diggs
Sleeper.
went off. I was great for my other league, but he won by 2 points. I was supposed to be the leading scorer this week.
So he said that very poorly. I was the highest scoring person of the week.
Yes,
just saying.
he was the high scorer.
Unfortunately, Najee's Y'all didn't show up this week. You're in the toilet bowl, 106.84. Not a great week. Week 3 is a great time to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you're looking at the players of the week, Nat Rod over here showed out with playing Lamar Jackson with 42.62 points.
Yep.
Aaron Jones also on Nat Rod's team with 31.5 against Chicago.
You got a wide receiver, Stephon Diggs, number 1 with 39.8. Then we have tight end Mark Andrews on Steiger's team, 22.2 points.
Steiger, that's good. Your best player is a tight end. You just listen to Will, and you're going to be good to go.
You just need a few more of them, or a couple more of them.
A couple more of them, yeah, 2 more. And then we had your brother again with Dan Carlson for kickers, and then Christina with the Bucks showing out at 29 points. That's
29 points. They scored more than most players.
That's like a quarterback on your team. They just got 3 quarterbacks.
This basically Diggs on your team.
Yeah. Bench warmers of the week. Some of these weren't, it wasn't surprising to me yet. Trevor Lawrence scored quite a bit for Will. Tony Pollard scored quite a bit for Justine, but depending on your team makeup, Tony is the backup. Last week he got a little involved, but not crazy.
Yeah.
This one, and I hate to call you out again because you had a rough 2 weeks. Steiger, you should have been hanging with Mr. Cooper. It wouldn't have been that much of a difference, but it would have been a difference. And this week you needed every point you could get.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other ones, Dalton Knox, Harrison Butker, and then the Chargers.
What? Something I noticed, like kicker, 0 points on bench, but who has a backup kicker? I was like, I like the stream kickers, but I haven't really been able to this week, this season so far. But curious, 2 kicker thing.
Yeah, I mean your brother had 3 and he was winning.
No, you have 3 tight ends.
Oh, 3 tight ends, you're right. Sorry, that's right.
Tight ends you can put in a flex spot.
True.
Kickers, can we change the rules? Put a kicker in flex spot?
Maybe he wanted him to hold the ball on the bench.
Oh, maybe. There you go. And then, the Chargers as well on the bench as a number 1 backup.
So I mean, backup defenses, I get it. The kickers, I'm still questioning. Mike, I try not to say anything, but I'm questioning that one. Not gonna lie, it's a questionable call of the week, buddy. Now, do we want to get into league awards or do we want to get into?
Let's get into the.
Let's get into the pick. All right, so pickups of the week, and this is interesting because 2 of the 3 pickups of the week didn't get played.
Right.
So number 3 pickup of the week was NTG over here with Duvernay, which is a Ravens wide receiver.
Yep.
The guy's got a lot of hype. He's extremely fast as well, but didn't play him.
Didn't play him. I mean, had the potential. He ended up doing better than a couple of my bench players, but I wasn't sure, but I still wanted to pick him up to keep him just in case.
Great pickup though, because if he plays in, especially depending on who he's matched up against, with you having bye weeks, could work out very well for you. Number 2 was Dotson.
Yep.
For your brother actually. And
also didn't play him. But scored 15.5 points, something like that.
He was the second highest pickup of the week as far as scoring. And then the number 1 pickup of the week
was Curtis Samuel with Stacks over here, put up 19 points, and he did play him. Yeah, so that was a big factor in his points.
Yep, that was one that I had a strong feeling about. I was a little worried about the quarterback situation still, but I had a strong feeling about him. It paid off in a big way. Drop of the week.
Once again, Stacks with Tua. So obviously as a Dolphin fan, I like my team, but I know Tua's not, I'm not sold on Tua 100% yet. He did very well, but you can also say the receivers did a lot of the work. But Mr. Stacy over here dropped him and ended up putting up over 40 points. Yeah,
it's kind of rough. Might be fighting to get him back, maybe not. I don't know. I don't want to give you guys ideas.
Who's on the waiver wire?
We'll check that. We'll actually check that over the last segment of the day. And then trade of the week. Great job, NTG, Nate the Great, doing a trade with Najee's in Paris, Andrew Prue, and Swift had 15 plus points this week. It was 15 point something, and Derrick Henry had 8.5. So first week of the trade. Right now, you're up in the situation, up in the call, and honestly, there's a lot of people that were going to go. Which way am I going to go on that call?
Well, when Prue sent me that trade, I was looking. I was like, they look similar enough, but who's going to have that upside? And I'm like, why? Why are you sending me this trade? I was like, what do you know that I don't know? And then I talked to you, and you said that he's a Titans fan. I'm like, okay, I can see that. I can do that. So I just did the trade. Worked out for me. Well, actually, an hour after the trade. Swift was
They said he might not play.
yeah, he said he might not play. I was like, oh crap. Did he know this? Did he set me up? But no, worked out. He played 15 plus points, and Derrick Henry ended up getting stopped by who played last night again?
Was it the Eagles?
Eagles, yes.
Eagles, yes.
No,
It was two-
no, that was the other game.
Oh no, it was the
Bills.
Eagles, Vikings. It was the Bills. Yeah, I mean Bills are on another level right now.
Yeah.
If you got Bills on your team, good job.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess 7 days.
So-
No, but Josh Allen, I believe it's champ.
I think so.
Yeah, Josh Allen is on fire right now.
Mhm.
Boy, is possessed. Getting into the league awards for the week, most efficient manager. He wanted this, he got it. Nat Rod with the most efficient manager
Yes,
of the week
sir.
at 189.5 points. Max points he could have scored was 196.9. That's a
7.4 points.
96.2% rating. That's pretty good as far as percentage of points. Least efficient manager, Steiger, my man. We'll have to have a talk this
Wait,
week.
wait, I'm 96.2. You're looking at yours.
I said 96.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Least efficient manager, Steiger, scored 118.9. Max points would have been 138. Still not an amazing week. Guys, Steiger, not gonna lie to you. Your guys are gonna wake up. You got way too good of a team.
Yeah.
You're not out of it. It's only week 2, but rough week.
I hope it's when you're against Stacks.
That's usually what happens. Nice points.
Highest points in a loss is Champ. That's
Yeah,
Champ, right?
Champ.
152 versus 167. So high score, but that game was just two high scoring teams fighting against each other.
Yeah.
That one went to Monday night.
Yeah, that was Monday night.
50-50 going into Monday night. Then lowest points in a win, my brother Will Rodriguez, 156.32 against Prue's 106.84. So still high score, but lowest of the wins.
Now, biggest blowout, Nat Rod over Steiger. Steiger, I'm not trying to take shots at you, man. But it was Nat Rod over Steiger, 189.5 to 118.9. And the narrowest victory was also Justine, just over Christina, with that 167.98 to 152.62.
Then you got overachiever. Stacks over here got 191 for his projected 138. So 53 points. And then you got underachiever, which was Prue. He got 106.84, but he was projected a whopping 153.
Yeah.
That's a high projection.
That's a big difference.
I think that was like the third highest
Yeah,
projection
yeah.
going into the week.
It's not gonna show it here. We'll do a quick check on it afterwards. And if you're looking at team performances, I had the highest score with a max of only 206, but it was 92.6. Nate had a max of 196.9, which was 90, and he scored 96.2% of that. Belichick yourself coming in third with 86.4%, and then team 3 tight ends, which is Will, with 90.5. And actually, Champ was at 91.9, just below, only 14 points off her max, when scoring 152, and she could have scored 166. Now,
Which would have been her game, wouldn't it have?
if she
No, it was
maxed out-
167.
Yeah, 167.
So yeah, even maxing out would have
even
lost by
maxing
a
out,
point.
she would've- that might have been even worse, Christina.
Yeah, I
You're probably
was
better
gonna say,
off
I think it would have been more pissed.
You're probably better off with how you did. Now we look at what's going on the waiver wire this week. Yes, Jimmy G is up on the waiver wire. Tua Tuilova is on the waiver wire. Geno Smith. I don't like when it all just gives me quarterbacks. Rex Burkhead from the Houston Texans. Wow, almost Oilers. Then what? Oh, and Melvin Gordon's been interesting, to be honest with you.
We got for wide receivers, Hunter Renfrow is up there on the Raiders. Devonta Smith, he's up there. Yeah, he had a pretty good game.
Yeah.
Again with the Eagles. The Eagles played very well last night. And then Joshua Palmer. Then also for tight ends.
We also got Corey Davis, where and Joe Flacco's already been named the Week 3 starter.
Right.
If Joe Flacco keeps playing the way he did,
you're going to see a lot more wide receivers.
They were against a decent defense.
Mm-hmm.
Corey Davis could be interesting, and also you kind of brushed over him, Joshua Palmer. If you remember the preseason, this guy, people were asking who the hell this guy was.
That's true. No, you're right.
And now all of a sudden in the season,
and they're against
game check
Jacksonville
here,
this week.
First week wasn't great, but especially with Keenan Allen out, if he's still out, he had 11 points this week. That could be an interesting play.
And then top tight ends, looking at you, Will, potential pickups. Zach Ertz, number 1 on the Cardinals. I think, how did he do this last week? He did 11.5. So he's doing solid for tight end. But you have Irv Smith on Minnesota. Now, I think he's the only person on the Vikings that did anything last night.
Yeah.
The Vikings were looking awful last night. Okay. And then Tyler Higbee. Tyler Higbee had a great game.
Tyler Higbee had another good game.
Yeah.
What was his 2-week scoring? His 2-week scoring was a 6.4 in the first week, which all came in the fourth quarter, the first week against the Bills.
Yeah.
And then now second week against Atlanta, 10.6. That could be a consistent play. And if you're looking at tight ends, Will somehow found, well, actually even Kelsey had a bad week.
Kelsey had a very bad week.
This was not good for tight ends. I don't know what the hell they were doing.
Oh, I had Waller give me 15 points.
Oh yeah. So yeah, you had, what was that? What did I say? You had Waller and you had one other person that did really well. You had two people, I think Irv Smith and Zach Ertz were around 10, and then everybody else was. Hell, I had Cole Kmet, who last year had over 100 receptions, and has 0 receptions for the season. Oof. With Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Or no, I think he's got 1 reception for the season. It's terrible. Coming up in week 3, let's wind down here. Week 3, we've got myself versus Belichick yourself. That's a 1-1 matchup. Then number 2 here, we got Team 3 tight ends Will versus Team Steiger with Steiger.
Number 3 will be Nate the Great against Najee's in Paris. And then 4th game, we got Champ versus Team Tebow.
Oh, and we almost forgot, this is my fault. Looking at what's going on in the league right now. There we go. We've got first place. This is funny.
Yeah, yes it is.
This is interesting. So, Team 3 tight ends, Will, at 2-0. I got to draft those 3 tight ends next year. 2-0, scoring 317 points. He does have the lowest points allowed.
Oh yeah.
So that's an interesting.
I had low last week, and then he was improved.
But lowest points allowed. So yeah. So that's that one you might want to protect yourself on, Will, because you're not always going to have the lowest points against you.
Well, I mean, you can't do anything about that. So whoever
I'm saying you got to get your
points forced up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's 3rd in points forced, but he has that 2-0 record.
Yeah. And then you got Champ in 2nd, 1-1 with 324, almost 325 points scored. Myself in 3rd with 322.5 points scored, and then Belichick yourself with 311 points scored so far.
And I'm not happy about this, but me in 5th place, Nate the Great with 309.92. Got Tim Tebow in 6th with 302.66 points.
Unfortunately, we don't have Tim Tebow. That's Team Tebow.
Team Tebow. I didn't realize that Tim Tebow. Team Tebow, number 6. And 7, you got Najee's in Paris with 243 points. And Team Steiger bringing up the rear, 232, but that could change anytime.
That could change very quickly, especially with that team.
Yep, everyone has pretty much same record right now, only 2 people off that. Yep. So this season could be very interesting.
It could be very good. Let's keep it up, guys. Let's have a great week. What were we looking at there was a few people that I was very curious about how things are going to go for them this week. But, Najee's bad week. I think you could definitely rebound this week, though, when I was looking at your team. Steiger can definitely rebound this week. And Team 3 tight ends, who was he going against this week? Do you remember?
Steiger.
Oh, he is going against Steiger. Ooh, Steiger, this could knock the champ off the top right now.
And that could even out the...
Yeah, that could change
the
whole
records
lot of
too.
layouts. Ooh, it's going to be an interesting week. Guys, thank you for tuning in. I'm Chris Stacks.
Nate the Great.
We'll see you next week.